Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today on Tamper with a Plan. In this video, we are planning for next week. So we are here on Tuesday, May 20th, and we're trying to get ahead because I did get behind and I don't like being behind. So we decorated for the whole week already, and now we're moving into next week. This first page of the next week, it's just like my previous week where the color is different. And I found some gold washi to kind of cover that up. So we had this pretty blue from last week. So I covered that up with that yellow washi to kind of blend it together. We still have the teal over here, so I didn't bother with this sidebar. And this is what we're going to use for the weekly overview. Then when we go into Sunday, it'll be all the yellow for the rest of the week. And that's how we are going to actually end May. Then we get right into June planning, which will be a different planner, with the exception of my declutter planner back here that I will still be using in this really cute 2019 Happy Planner big vertical layout. So we'll just grab the June month for that when we're ready for that part. That'll be another video. Be sure to check that out. It's going to be a really fun setup video. But for right now, we're going to do the weekly overview. So every week before I jump into the actual first day of Sunday, I like to have a weekly overview where I can kind of pre-plan some of my items. That's one thing I didn't really have enough room for on my 2-page daily, which I know sounds surprising because 2-page dailies should have a lot of room. But I really do like to have a pre-plan because if I'm on Sunday and I want to remember something for Wednesday, I don't always like to just come and put it on here until I figure out all the things and kind of write it together. So I like a pre-plan area. So that is what this is. This is going to be the weekly pre-plan. Now normally I do a Sunday start. And I would normally reday it and move the Sunday over here. But I've said this before, in this particular planner, I think the days are really cute how they're written and the different colors. So I'm going to leave them how they are. But I do still start on Sunday. I just put the day, for instance. This Sunday will be the 25th. So I'll put the 25th here, then I'll jump over here to the 26th. This is gonna be my third week doing that and it hasn't confused me yet. It's been fine, so I'm gonna continue to do that. But again, this is the last week we're gonna use this particular planner. At least right now, we're gonna circle back to it when we need more planner pages. But I'm gonna switch it up because I have a lot of older Happy Planners that I like, that I wanna get used up. And this particular planner is from 2017. So I'm gonna get the days, and what I like to do is pick the days in a same color. I think I'm going to do these oranges right here because we do have 25 through 30 and then 31 on some other page. I'll have to find that, but it is there. So sometimes things change in the weekly, and that's why I don't like to just go to my day and put something on there. Like if we're going to go somewhere and then we don't end up going for whatever reason. If it's in the pre-plan area, this weekly overview, I don't mind that. But if it's in my actual planner, I white it out. I don't really love doing that. So that's why I like a weekly overview, to just kind of look at everything. So I'm putting the dates to the side. These dates are a little tall for the top. Yeah, they seem to fit actually right now. Maybe we'll try them on top. I think that looks better. But I have been doing them on the side. Let's see. Yeah, they fit barely. I don't know why I thought they wouldn't fit. Maybe it was a different size or a different font that was just a little bigger. Yeah, I definitely like that better than on this side. And this is the last week of the month, so I can't believe how fast this year is going. We are already going to be to June. That is crazy. Now, if you're a Sunday start gal, you will like that this month ends on a Saturday. So it's pretty perfect. Okay, if you have a Mojo Jojo's pastel dated book, know that your 31s are just somewhere else in the book. They're like the page ahead. And for a while, I didn't think they actually had them in here. She didn't have them in there, which didn't make sense to me, but of course she has them. They are just on a different page, so just look for those. Okay, so for this sticker book, I wanted to use the Ingrid Blooms here. Because we have this fun gold, I thought we could go through and find some flowers that have the gold. Not just the sunflowers yet, I might do that later, but something like this. So I'm gonna grab out my extra sticker sheets and get some stuff on here, but anything here with this gold in the background. And she has a lot that has that. We'll come back for these if we need them because there's a tiny bit, but not really a lot. Here's a smaller one of that. And I mean yellow gold, not like foil gold. We'll come back and look at this one. Oh, see, like this is really pretty. That's gonna work well. It's very lightly shaded, so it might be kind of hard to see, but no, yeah, you can still see that that's a box. I do like this one too. Now we're mixing floral looks. Let me see if I just have enough of these. See, it's like just a little more abstract. And if I do, we'll stick with those. Just be grabbing all of these out. I think that's the only one of that. These look the same too. I'm not sure what these are. I guess just like little decorative boxes. Oh, and look, we have a bunch of these little ones. So obviously you don't have to stay with this like same look. I'm just doing it. It helps me decide. Sometimes there's just too many choices in our books. Okay, and this is also, so I'll grab that as well. And then we can save this one, which is actually really pretty too, for a different spread. Okay, I just want to go back and look at some of these big boxes and see if any of them had the look that we're working with. I do wish we had one of those, but that's okay. I think we're gonna have enough without it for sure. So I'm thinking this one looks the theme. So I am gonna grab it out. Like up in here, it's kind of like the look. And that brings in some green, so that can be fun too. And, you can pop it up with these as well. Just these little corner pieces. And then I think if we add washi, we might be pretty good. But let's check everything out and see how it looks. Okay. So for over here, it says favorite picture of the week. That's where I'm gonna stick this. And it also covers up that noted, which didn't really need it, but that's okay. Now again, okay, so the camera cut out. I'm not sure what all I did since then. I don't know, maybe I had this corner floral I cut and put the leftover down here. Punched this floral, it was hanging off a little. I've noted and to do over here. And then these are two angled boxes that I'll show you in the book because I don't think they're gonna come up. They look like this, and I just put them together. I saw this technique on Amy with Aim to Plan's channel, where she puts the two slit corners kind of next to each other. It makes like a cute little shape there. And this is a very subtle yellow on here. but at least it's a little bit of a shaded box. Okay. I don't know, so... I think the next thing we're gonna do is get some washi on here. So what I've been doing is kind of a save this spread washi lately, are these stripes. So let's do it again. Hopefully it saves it again. If you ever get stuck on a spread, it can be a fun idea to just grab some washi and a color that you like or a pattern that you like and add it to the spread. So yeah, just add something, right? I like to add 3 strips per side. That's what I do usually. Sometimes I do mix that up. And here, I think we'll pull it across, but then cut it off the to-do. Okay. Well, it adds something for sure, so that's good. Needed something. Okay, so for this one, let's cut it around this box too. I do like it in the box a little. You know, like how it's splitting this box, for instance. Because it gives me like different sections to write in. So I think that's fun. But for this one, I think we're gonna cut it because it's kind of a small box anyway. And it interrupts the floral there. But I could take this piece because I really don't like a box that doesn't have a border. And I'm just gonna stick it here. We might move that, we'll see. Okay, so now we have some things to kind of accent. Like we can put the florals here at the end of the washi to give like a little decoration. Maybe a stem at the end. Let's try that. Maybe. And then this is what we have left. We're gonna put it all on one page and kind of look at it. I think we can do things like just add these as decor, maybe? Like put this in the middle, maybe? No, that one doesn't work so well. Let's hang it off there. Hang that one there. And I don't know about these half circles. I'm not a huge half circle gal. I'm gonna move it up because it's kind of the same design. I know I did that on purpose. That's what I grabbed on purpose. But now it's like right over each other. I don't love it as much. Right. I guess we can put this one on top here. I think we'll make it hang off of the top a little so it doesn't look exactly like that one. Okay, so we have 2 half circles over here. Let's get one over here somewhere. We can do it here instead of that one. Although it is floating. Do this one here. I don't know, you guys. As much as I love these flowers, sometimes I find myself struggling with the design on the page. Which is my own fault, I know. What if I mix this up by putting that there? No, that's ridiculous. I think I'm just gonna do floral in this corner again. Okay, so I have one more sticker that I grabbed that needs to go somewhere. Well, it's okay. So I don't mind it. I think it's, you know, cheerful anyway. So let's see if I have enough room on every day and then just enough stickers on every day. This looks a little bare, so I think that's going to be the only thing we really need to grab something for this corner. So let's have a look. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find anything, but a quote could work. So we'll come back to that just in case. Okay, so let's look at these quotes. And we're going to go over in here because this is kind of the floral that we're looking at. Let's see. Let's see how big this one is. Root for each other and watch each other grow. I might just grab a couple of these. I do think it messes with the colors, but that's okay. So root for each other and watch each other grow. This one says be the good. I like that. I think we'll do 2 on each page at least. And then see what else. You are made of what? You are made of stardust and wishes and magical things. like this next to the stripes. I do like the stripes. Okay, and then one more small one over here. Anything is possible. Enjoy the journey. Maybe enjoy the journey. Then I'm going to put it down here. And I think I'm just going to catty corner this one for this last spot of color. All right, well, it's interesting, but a good thing is that it's colorful and cheerful, and I have enough room to write every, oh, I wanted something here. I guess that's what that was supposed to be. Maybe we stack one more on there. Or you know what, we can move this down there. We still might stack another on there. Chase your dreams. All right, that's a little better. Since we have really sticker heavy down here, I wanted something else over there. Yeah, I think that's fine. All right, so let's put everything away, and this is what it looks like. Cheerful, colorful, and enough room to write in every day, so I do like it. I do think we need a May up here in the corner, so let's grab that, and hopefully we can find it in that orange. You're probably going to hear my husband's television in the back. His office door is closed, but he puts it so loud. So if you hear some noise in the background, it is my husband's television. Okay, but that is it. I think it's actually really cute and colorful. So the Ingrid Blooms spreads that I've done, I've always been a little worried about when they're done. I mean, I think they're beautiful stickers, but just the way that I arrange them. But when they're done, I always think they look really good. So this is no exception. And this is ready to go back into the planner. This will be our last week. We end on the 31st of May. So when this month is over, we'll kind of go through the whole month that's here and talk about how I used it. But that is it for this video. This is the weekly overview with some color and enough room to pre-plan all of my subjects for next week. Thanks so much for joining me today on Tamper with the Plan. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today on Tamper with the Plan. In this video, we're going to be decorating for Sunday. What is that? May 25th. So we're decorating a week ahead. We're back here on Tuesday. And this is the weekly overview we just finished. Now we're going to decorate for Sunday. And if you don't know how I decorate, I make each day a 2-page daily. So for instance, this is tomorrow, Wednesday. And I have my timeline, and then I have my extra sections to write for the whole day. And then I just open this spread and I see everything that I need to do for the day. So we're gonna get that ready for Sunday. Now I do like a weekly overview, which is what we did in the last video, where I can kind of pre-plan and look at my week. And then the 2-page daily gets very specific. So to do a 2-page daily, I do white out the tops here because I do not need these to have any days. And you may hear my husband's television in the background. Puts it kind of loud. And what stickers we're going to be using today are the Wrong Wrong I Can I Will sticker book. And I wanted to come in and use these palm leaf stickers. So like this page will be done. We'll use a lot from this page. She actually has quite a bit in here. And I just thought they'd be fun to mix with this bright yellow from this Big Happy Planner vertical. And this is a memory keeping vertical. Before we get too distracted, I'm going to make my little timeline lines. So this is a little bit of a process, and I did explain this in one of my other videos where previously, so I have 6 planners here on 2 pages, and previously I was just flipping around to the different planners and then planning, you know, in my wellness planner, planning in my household planner, planning in my work planner. And the fun about that is you can try different layouts, so it is kind of fun to do that. But it ended up being pretty time consuming, and it was actually frustrating me. Just because if I had my wellness planner on my lap and I thought of something for work, I would just write it in my wellness planner and think I was going to transfer it to my work planner, but never did. So I'm saying all that to say that I know that this is a lot of maintenance to make this into a 2-page daily. It's not really a lot, but it is some maintenance, but I do think it's worth it. And I was doing time anyway, flipping through all the planners and planning in all the different sections. I wrote that too dark. I like to do a lighter line, but I'm a little distracted, so let's try. That's more of the line I like to use. That's okay, we'll leave those anyway. And I know it's slightly crooked. I did try a stencil and it didn't work very well. So I make these lines about 1/2 inch apart, and they end up being just about perfect for me. It gives me all the time slots that I need. And with the vertical, it does give me like a morning time block, an afternoon time block, and an evening time block, which I really like. Okay, so that's all for that part. And then I just write in the times. And I have been writing in with this fine liner that came with like some Happy Planner kits. Let's see if it still has ink left. Okay, so I start planning at 9 a.m., but if I wanted to, I could take it up to 6 a.m. This line comes to 11 a.m., this line comes to 5 p.m., and that's how I get my little like time blocking sections, morning, afternoon, and evening, and I like it a lot. All right, so that is all the maintenance that we have for this page. We're ready to just go ahead and get some stickers on, and I'm gonna start with this page here. Plans. And then we have these two fun strips. I think I'm gonna grab my empty sticker pages just to get some stuff on here. This will also work. It's actually the same box, just without land, so that's kind of funny. And we'll stick that one over here. I'm just coming through and grabbing some stickers that I think can work for the page. Okay, I think that's good. But the funny thing is I don't have any girls. I must have used them all. I mean, I have a couple here. They're kind of small and they don't really work. I mean, she might, oh no, her florals are a little brighter. So I think we're gonna grab the rainbow book. I really like to work out of one book, but it's not always possible. I think we can get away with some orange. So I'm thinking that, yeah, we'll probably do the orange. Let me, oh, we have some palm leaves in the green. I changed my mind. I think we'll do the green. And yeah, I think that's gonna look good. This is the only other girl with like a summery look. I think we're just gonna get this nice flowy. Now it's a little early for summer. A lot of gals use palm leaves for summer. So we're still in spring, but I just wanted to do the spread with these. The greens are slightly off, but that's okay. I think we're gonna be able to work with it. Okay, so that's what we have. And the other thing we're kind of small on are boxes. We don't really have a lot of boxes. So we'll see how we're gonna handle that. This looks a little crooked to me. Let me check it. Maybe. I don't know how well this is gonna come up. You know what, I'm not gonna try it. Wrong boxes on Happy Planner paper. Not gonna be great. All right, let's get our girls somewhere. I guess we're gonna put this gal down here. No, we'll do her down here. I'll need room to write, so her dress just flows really, like swings out. And we're gonna put her up here. This makes me happy. Or maybe even, no, we'll put her here. And now we're just gonna get the rest of the stuff on. And we'll get these palm leaf florals on. I want this one in the top corner. Let's see what we have available. I just ripped it, but we can put it back together. Come on. It's actually the one right there, so maybe in this corner? Okay. And put this one up here. And we have a couple of quotes. And feed this quote into here. And we might feed this quote into here. But giving them each a leaf, I think that's pretty much it. But we have these two strips here that are decorative, and then we have this one box. So I'm gonna put the box up here. Grab the two strips. I'm gonna put this one over plans. And we need a nice spot over here for this one. I'll just put it in the corner. There's like nothing over here, but we are gonna add a washi. Okay, honestly, it's cute enough. It has space for everything I need. Okay, looking at my washi, I do have some palm leaf washi. How cute is that? I think it's from a student planner kit that I had from a long time ago. Oh, that ripped. Let's see. I mean, it's definitely not perfect, the colors. But I'm gonna use it anyway, because when am I gonna be able to use palm leaf washi? I have no idea. When will I ever be able to use this again? So let's get this on. I just lost it because it ripped. Here we go. Okay. Now where do I want to come from? I think over here. It is definitely not perfect for the look. but that's okay. Oh, this is old washi, so I think the student planner might have been 2016 that this came from, so let's go slow. Here we go. It's fun though, I like it. Yeah. It has this like darker leaf that kind of goes with the flow a little better. But overall I'm liking this spread, and I'm not a palm leaf gal. I know some people love them. Maybe it reminds them of like vacation. Where do I want to put it? I think here's the one. Oh, I did it again. Again, let me remind you, my husband's television, super loud. That is what you were hearing in the background. Let's get that back in. Okay. Yeah, I don't love the green of it, but it's actually okay. Now, the last thing, oh, let's put these back. Everything else looks really cute though. This blue was a little off, but it had some of the leaves, and then the girls are a little brighter, but I still really like them. It is super fun, so it's gonna work well. All right, so we're gonna get the date on. I did grab it in the green, and I want to put it up here, but I know it's not going to cover everything. This is my favorite picture of this week, so I thought to put the date over here because I didn't cover this up with something else that was cute. It does not look great on this yellow shaded box, but maybe we can kind of cover most of it. I was thinking of just doing Sunday, May like that, and maybe the 25th like that. So it doesn't look too bad. All right, so palm leaves. I know we're thinking summer and it's way too early on May 25th, but it has been really hot here. But like tornado storm muggy hot. No, I think it's super fun. All right. I like it better than I thought I was going to because I don't like the palm leaves, but I'm pretty happy with it. So let's get it back into the planner. So I'm gonna finish getting this week decorated. So we're only on Tuesday, May 20th. I'm gonna finish getting a week ahead decorated, and then we will go ahead and get our June setup, which will be a different planner for my 2-page daily that I'm making into a 2-page daily, and then the same big vertical layout, just the June design from the 2019 Happy Planner big vertical planner, and those will be my new planners. It's going to be a super fun video, so stay tuned for that. As for now, I really do like how this turned out. Considering I'm not a fan of palm leaves at all, I think it's super fun and cheerful and cute. Next video, we will do Monday, May 26th. Thanks so much for joining me today on Tamper with the Plan. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me today on Tamper with the Plan. In this video, we're going to be decorating for Monday, May 26th. And we're using a big vertical happy planner. Today is Tuesday, May 20th, so we're still planning for today a little, but we're decorating way ahead. So we have the weekly overview that starts Sunday the 25th and will end Saturday the 31st. I do a Sunday start. So that's a weekly overview. We decorated for Monday, or for Sunday, and now we're going to be decorating for Monday in this planner. If you haven't seen my videos, I do a 2-page daily planner from a Happy Planner big vertical. And this is a Happy Planner Big Vertical Memory Keeping Planner. What's up? From 2017. It is an undated planner. Because I'm making this into a 2-page daily, I'm going to go ahead and white out these days. And then the next thing I do is I write in my timeline. So if you haven't seen my videos, I do a 2-page daily because I like to open to a spread and see everything that I need to do for the day. Previously, I had multiple planners and I would flip around like to my wellness planner, flip to my work planner, flip to my cleaning planner, and between the time of flipping all the time and the time of every day flipping, like say planning for Sunday, flip to my wellness on Sunday, flip to my cleaning on Sunday, flip to my work on Sunday, that was getting really old for me. So I wanted to just have everything in one spot, and that's what we're doing now. So one of the things I really liked to have in a planner, and one of the planners I used to have was an hourly planner, which I was using as time blocking. It really helped me keep on track for like the morning, what I was supposed to be focusing on, for the afternoon, what I wanted to focus on. And that's what we're making right here. So I'm doing about 1/2 inch apart. This is definitely not perfect. Once the stickers are on here, you don't notice as much, you know, maybe some of the unevenness. But yeah, I get 6-hour sections in each little section of the day. And I like to time block for the morning, afternoon, and evening. Okay, now that that is done, I'm just gonna write in the times. So this is a little maintenance in the front at the beginning of the planner, and at first I was thinking like, this is kind of a lot of time. But then I realized all the maintenance it takes to have multiple planners. For one, I was going in and decorating at least a little on all of my planners with some washi and some stickers. Then flipping around to write in them. So I realized this is definitely worth the time to do it like this. And again, I open it up, it's all here, so I like it. All right, so I wanted to use the boho stickers today, and I'm grabbing out my extra sticker pages. So I'm thinking like peach and lavender, and I'll show you the two that really caught my attention. And it is this one, like this light lavender. These are like pastels, they're not my favorite colors at all. I think they're kind of hard to see. They just don't make, I don't know, such a impression. But they are growing on me, maybe because I have so many and I have to use them. So I'm liking them okay. We'll come back to that page if we need to. So if you haven't seen my channel before, I try to come on and grab either the pages out, or if I can't grab the pages out, like this book where they're all dispersed throughout the different colors, I will grab just stickers that I think will work with the spread. So that's what we're doing now. And I think I'm gonna grab these 3 stars. Sometimes you need just like a little bit of extra something. My tweezers. A little extra color some places, so I'm gonna grab those for that. So So these are older Happy Planner stickers in the big size, which I like to use for my vertical layout. But of course, there's so many more classic size stickers than there are big. So it is more common to have those. Let's go to the next page. When I get about 3 pages of stickers here, I know I'm probably ready for my spread. So these little stickers, I'm gonna move to a different page and pull that page out. I know this is a cheating way to get rid of a page, but let's pull it out. And I have these last 2 stars, and I'm just gonna move to this other page. Consolidating. That didn't work so well. We can probably save that. I am decluttering my house this year, so always thinking about what can be consolidated. So this is more of a pink purple. I didn't notice that. Instead of this lavender. So I'm glad I caught that. I think some of these flowers will work because we already have them there. Okay, these will work too, some of these colors. Okay, so I grabbed some of the stickers that I like, and look how pretty this is, Young and Wild and Free. I'm gonna put this up in my wellness section here, because it's just really pretty. Now I know, how does this look with the yellow? I'm not actually that worried about it. I think I'm gonna put this with this beautiful Just Breathe with the rose gold. That's pretty. And then we have this Star Peach, which I think we will put maybe way over here. A little higher, I think. And then we have to accent that with this really pretty purple flower. So we have these 2 boxes in lavender, 2 boxes in peach, and then a few more accents that we're going to use. Let's see, I'm going to get the peach over here. And I like to cover up this black heading. I just think it kind of ruins the look. I don't know, I just don't like the dark headings. But I like to do box layers anyway, so that was close. This is kind of a diagonal, but I'm not gonna let that bother me. Okay, and then here, I think we do I can go a little in my timeline. So I don't love like kind of how close they are. I usually like them more staggered, but because I'm covering up that little noted, I'm gonna leave it. That says remember. This also says remember. Let's make this a little higher. Okay, so that's like the basics where we have the boxes and the decorative boxes. So now we can just get some decoration on there. Just Breathe, I think will look cute up here. This is the wellness section. I might put it in the corner, and I am gonna white out this yellow line just for this phrase because it's a clear sticker. Oops, as much as I can. There we go. I think I do want one more rose gold quote over on this side, so just to kind of balance it out. So let's see what we have. We'll just do this love. And whoops. Got stuck there. This is happiness is this. So maybe we combine those two to make like a little cute phrase. And because I'm gonna put it in this corner, I can erase this pencil line. So happiness is this, and then this rose gold love will also erase this pencil line. I'm gonna scoot that over. Maybe both of them actually. I want to scoot both of them over. Okay, I like that well enough. Okay, there's a couple other cute ones that I think are the right color that we can put on here. So it says be filled with wonder. So put that over love these moments. Even though that could actually work. Sometimes it says something about a picture up here. But maybe we do the love one because we'd have to cut off this. This is live and love. That way we don't have to cut off the cute start of the W here. So we have two quotes over here. I think we'll do another one up here, be filled with wonder. Now let's talk about this yellow. I could put washi over it. We'll see if I decide to do that. If this was an entire week of my decorating, I would probably do it, but this is for one day because this is a daily planner that I'm creating here. So I don't know if it's necessary, but let's get some sparkle down here. We went over the hole, so I'm just gonna punch it out real quickly before I get distracted and forget. I might do it today anyway, you know, bring off the yellow, take off the yellow. So let's look at our options. Okay, I kind of like this really thin stripe one here. So this is the thin washi that I have linked below from Amazon. It was affordable, and I was using it daily to separate sections. So this is almost like a cross color between the purple and the peach. So I think it's going to work really well. So now that we have a bunch of stickers on to already kind of cover some things, I think we can just go in with this and it'll just tone down the brightness. At first I thought I was not going to do this. I definitely wouldn't do it every day, but this is a pretty mellow, calming spread, and that bright yellow is bright and cheerful, but it is bright. So let's just do a little covering. I always see a little speck there, but we'll see if we put a flower or something there. So when you have a colorful planner, that is one thing to consider if you're using pastels, which I don't usually like to use pastels, but I do have them. So I'm going to use them up. But you have to consider that when you're decorating. If you're okay with the bright to stay on there with the pastels. And again, if it was a whole week, I would highly recommend just taking some washi and going over it. You could probably also do marker and just tone it down with like a lighter color marker on top of it. But there are options. So if you don't know how I decorate for my planner, I do 8 full spreads per week because I do 2-page dailies. So it's actually fun. It's a lot of decorating, but I was doing 2-page dailies no matter what planner I use. So I was doing 8 spreads. The 8th spread is a weekly overview. So I was doing 8 spreads no matter what planner I was using. Okay. So this is bring on the, and the fun is the only word that I think is kind of too bright. So we'll write out fun, and then maybe we'll put a flower there or something would be cute. And we'll do, oh, you know, maybe one of these. I was gonna bring these in too. Purple and peach of these. So I think this will be pretty. It's like bring on the florals maybe. If you watch my channel, you'll know that I'm a cross in between decorative and then practical planning, because I don't try to write fancy in my planner. My handwriting is my handwriting, and it is not great. Let's maybe put this over here. Should I white out the yellow polka dots? I think I'm gonna have to at this point because of everything else gone. But we're gonna put some washi down here too, so I don't know, I don't wanna, I kinda already did it, it's okay. But I could've waited to see some thicker washi. I'm gonna do at the bottom here. I could've waited to see what I was gonna have left hanging out. Let's do we want a big one here? I like the big ones in the corners. It gives it something, so it's not just plain. And I'm really only cutting off stems. That's why I'm not feeding them back in. Okay, so I have another big peach one, and I'm just gonna grab them off. 2 small purples. Okay, definitely get something up here. Maybe the peach up there though. A small peach. Here. I'm saying peach, it's really not. What is this color? I don't know. I think it's a cross in between pink and peach. Okay, so those are the colors we're not using in this spread, so I'm gonna set that aside. And let's just get some of these on here. do lavender right here. Let's erase those pencil lines. Also, because I'm doing 8 spreads a week, I try not to put too much thought into it, but it does happen where you just get carried away thinking about it, overthinking things, erasing lines, covering up yellow lines, things like that. I am gonna put this, I know we already have it down here, it's kind of like it's starting and ending the page, that's okay. And then we'll cut everything in a moment. Let me get the rest of these on. We only have 2 left that we're really trying to decorate with. Just a tiny bit of white out on the yellow there. It did get onto the sticker, that's okay. And look at the florals up there. And I guess we'll do peach on one of these sides, like right there. Okay. That's looking cute. We'll do a little white out right here. And then what are we gonna do with these? I think I'm going to look into my pastel boxes and see if I have checklists to use, but I don't know that I have any left, so we won't hold our breath. Okay. If not, you know what, we have these like peachy, and then do we have purple of those dots, the dots. If we have the purple, I think I'm going to do them all in the purple. We do have checklists, they're just too dark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, we have enough. We have 6 right here. So we'll do it in this really light purple and hope it pretty much covers it. Okay, not quite covering it. So I'm going to make the extra effort just to white these out and then put the dots on. So this changed completely from what I thought it was going to be, which was a pretty simple spread. I'm making it a little more complicated, but that's okay. Okay, so I think that's cute enough. We're just going to add some extra detail now, and I'm not going to grab any more from this book. I prefer to use only one book when I'm working on things. It doesn't always happen, and that's okay. I have 2 stars here on my extra sheet. One is that the black. I don't know, we'll put it just here, I guess. And one little peach star. Put there. And let's see what else we have out. Do we have anything left? Okay, so on our blank sheets, yeah, we have like this really pretty rose gold. I do want to use it, but where? How about over here? Just like a little spot of, I say bling, but what do I mean? I don't know, fanciness? A little fancy. A star here, we will put a peach star here, a purple star up here, now we put this star thing down here. I think we can put the next one up here, the next big one, and just give this like a cute look with the florals. And just a little hanging off. Just a really small one. So where do we want to put that? Now I kind of want it a sparkle up here a little, so I'll just add it up to there. All right, last sheets are these, and I think we could just put a couple of these like someplace. Let's put like a row of these kind of together here. I might make them come down a little. One more. I do wish it was a tiny bit smaller. but that's okay. It doesn't take up too much of that box. We have all these little ones, which will just stick places. We have one more purple quote. I don't know. I don't know if we really need it, but we'll see. Purple quote, and it says, "Dream, believe, achieve." The reason I'm thinking of grabbing it is I only have these black, blue, and green left, so that can be a different spread to come back and get all of that. All right, but now we have to find a place for it. And that doesn't look, you know, kind of crazy. Well, what if we finish whiting this out, because it still doesn't match. This spring on the, and now it's going to do the flowers down there, right? But we could just white it out and stick our quote in here. Dream, believe, achieve. And it can kind of layer. Maybe I'm going to scoot it over a little though. I like that well enough. Okay, so let's get some washi on the top just to give it some decoration top and bottom. So I want to get a couple of these flowers over on this other side as well. You know, so they're not just on the one side. And then we'll do the other pink one. We'll leave these little bullet points for later. Can we put this up here? Be filled with? Yeah, we can still read it with the flower there, but we do have to do that punch. Now for our washi, we just need a thicker washi that's not gonna throw it all off on top and bottom. All right, so I just decided on this kind of peachy stars. It's pretty subtle when it gets on there, but it's a little brighter than what I already have on there. So I don't love it, but I'm not like, I don't have a huge washi collection. I only have what's in that tray. So if it's not in there, it's not gonna go on the page. But I think this will work. I think it'll be just, you know, subtle enough. Yeah, see how it's just, it's a little peachier than what we have. More like a coral, right? But I still think it's nice. Okay, so do I want one in the middle? I think I am gonna do it, and I'm gonna make it jump over this sticker and come like to there. So I'll cut that out because I think that sticker is too pretty to just have washi through or washi covering it. And then I'll just do it in the other one over here. And we'll also cut around this floral. All right, yeah, I like that well enough. So I am glad I did cover the yellow. I know it actually is kind of showing through this really subtle washi a little. Oh, look, I have that little spot over here to take care of. But it's definitely calmed it down. And I do feel like I put way too much thought into this spread because I have 8 spreads that I do a week. This is just one day. But sometimes it's worth it just to put a little more effort to bring this together. And even the purple, it's like it's a little more purpley than what is on the page, but that's okay. So we will do Monday, May 26th. Now, I am thinking this is a little bare over here. What do you guys think? Yeah, it is. So, Oh, too much thought, like I said. What if we do some alternating dots here from the florals and just like kind of, or like just make them actually cascade down probably. We'll do that. And yeah, so hold that thought. Every time I think I'm almost done. And one more. All right. Yeah, I definitely like that better. That was way too plain. And I do have a purple star here. This must have just fallen on the page from something else. We do have just one more purple sticker here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So we'll just put this randomly somewhere that needs like a little, yeah, like right there. All right, now I feel better. So now this spread is done and it is ready to be put back into the planner. But this is how it looks. It's got some sparkle on there. And we are planning ahead. This is only Wednesday, May 21st. So we're planning a little ahead. And I like how this turned out, especially for not being a fan of pastels, which I am not. They're just like a little too subtle for me. Okay. So that is it for this video. This is a 2-page daily for Monday, May 26th. We have already done Sunday for the last week of May and the weekly overview for the last week of May. So now we just have to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to end May. Thanks so much for joining me today on Tamper with a Plan. I'll see you next time. Bye guys. Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today on Tamper with a Plan. In this video, we are going to be decorating for Tuesday, May 27th. We've already done the weekly overview. We've already done Sunday, which I do a Sunday start, Monday, and now we're on Tuesday. And if you haven't seen my videos before, I do a 2-page daily, so both of these pages are Monday. I decided to do that after I had several planners in my 2025 lineup. And I did start with some of them, and I was just flipping around so much to do like my wellness over here and then my work over here and then flipping around, and it was really making me kind of crazy. I just didn't like it. And the other thing is, if I had my wellness open but I needed to make a note about work, I would write it there and I would say, okay, I'm going to transfer it to my work planner. And then I never did, and so then some things could get missed that way. Now the other thing, so a 2-page daily out of a weekly is some maintenance, and the reason that that is okay, and I'm just gonna white out these days while I'm talking. The reason I think that's okay is because flipping around to several planners and decorating them, I would decorate them at least with some colorful washi and a couple stickers, maybe not a full spread, just to get some color on the page. Writing all the planning from flipping around, that was taking a lot of time as well. So I think it's comparable, and this might even be slightly quicker to do it this way. So this is an old Happy Planner vertical. It's really colorful, which I love. This is a memory keeping vertical from 2017. And what I like about the memory keeping planners, aside from all the pages that are in the back, which are just some extra fun pages, is they have these line sections, dot grid, grid, just like fun little boxes throughout. I don't know that I necessarily pay that much attention to them for writing, but I do like that they're there and they do help me line up stickers. So it's just like a little extra fun thing. I'm gonna white out this favorite picture here, or just picture for now because it says favorite, and see if we just want to put like one word across there. Okay, so this is the basic setup, but the next thing I need to do is maintenance, and this is what I'm talking about. Even still, to do this, I'd be flipping to, really did I have 8 planners I think in the fall that I was flipping around to, decorating a little and writing in. So even though this seems like quite a bit of maintenance, or it might seem to you, I was already putting in that time and work, and now I'm putting it on all the effort onto a 2-page spread, and I can open up my planner and see everything that I need to do for the day. What do I need to do for wellness? It's right here. What do I need to do for work? It's right here. So all of that I really like having in one spot. If I want to make a note for work, I'm already open to the page. So nothing gets lost, and it's really helping me stay more organized. Now, I do like to decorate as well. The spreads, I just like some color on my page, and I almost do them like a full spread, to be honest. So each week I'm really working with 8 spreads that I do. I don't spend a whole lot of time on them, but probably a little more time than some, or than I could. But I do make the time, and then also, you know, I have the channel, so it gives me an excuse to spend a little extra time. But if you're somebody who's customizing pages, you know, obviously you don't have the time that I have, you know, use the time that you have and just decorate your page how you like it. There is no pressure to make a full spread, and none of my spreads are ever perfect. They're always a little cute enough and fun enough to plan in. And that's what I'm looking for, not like this perfect spread. You can tell that because when I fill in this spread, my handwriting is just my normal handwriting. I don't do anything special for that. That part of my planning is practical, what I write into my day. I don't try to make it look fancy, so maybe if I could write fancy, I would utilize it, but someday, who knows? I could improve my handwriting for sure. I just don't see that happening anytime soon. Okay, so that is the full maintenance other than writing in my times. So let's do the times. And I have been using this fine liner from Happy Planner. It's actually super old. It could have even come with this planner. I have no idea. So as long as it works, we're gonna use it. So I start my planning at 9 a.m., but I have slots all the way up to 6 a.m. here. And I do like my timeline over here on the right, and I'll talk about that in a moment, but I could put it over here to the left if I needed to. I'm just gonna put the number there because we have this picture perfect thing here. Okay, so let's talk about how this vertical layout is working for me in this 2-page daily. I really do like it. So I know I'm going to switch off of it for June and maybe even for a couple months, but I'm excited to come back to it, and I'm going to show you why. This whole timeline here is like my morning timeline. If I start doing 6, it would be 6 to 11, morning time block. And then I have this afternoon time block here, 12 to 5 p.m. and then I have my evening time block here, and I really like how that's separated. And it's separated with this kind of bold, colorful line instead of just like a thin line that looks doesn't look like it's actually separating. So my favorite planners from Happy Planner are the old ones with these colorful lines and the thicker lines. Now my last spread, I did cover up the yellow because it was just a really mellow spread. But for the most part, if it's not super clashing, I just keep it. Okay, so for this planner, let's get out my extra sticker sheets. I've been doing this lately. I kind of want to go with this like red burgundy and this camel color, Stay Wild. So those are going to be what I do when I go through a sticker book, is I kind of choose 2, maybe more colors to kind of work with. Let's see what's over here. Should I use this box? Because I do like having this for my day, checking into what I'm loving. These come up like every couple days. They're supposed to be like every couple weeks in the month, but I like having, you know, thinking about this every couple days. So I don't really want to cover it up. So I'm gonna think about this, but I might come back for this camel, check it off. So anything that just kind of goes, I'm gonna grab off. This is close, right? I think this is supposed to be the same color here. I'm pretty sure. Is this, yeah, this might be supposed to be the red. I think it is, kind of. We'll see. So let's keep flipping. Ooh, see, I like these. I actually don't know what these are supposed to be for. I guess like a little small tracking things. I can put one up by my weather. Should we grab a couple of these too? These kind of look like that camel color. Okay. We have the camel, and then we have the red here. So if you kind of go through like this and grab stickers like this where you're kind of going with two colors, you could pretty much get enough for a whole spread. Let's grab a couple quotes. I'm gonna get two on here. Maybe Fierce Mind, maybe? Sure. I guess the fierce because of the animal. I like that. Okay, I like these boxes, and look, we have the red and, I don't think that's quite the camel. Here's the camel. Oh, you know what? Let's put this red back and do that. So they're not exactly the same. I am going to take this layer off here. And then I can just put that back without worrying about it peeling up. Okay, so what I'm saying here is we have the animal print here, and then we have the dots here. That way they're not the same exact style. Mix it up a little. I'm sure this is camel. Is that the last one? I think I skipped one. Yeah, we'll grab a couple of these, like two each color. Okay, we might be getting a little carried away. Love this red box. Okay, we're gonna get started in just a moment. Let me decide. I do want this on as well. Okay, and then, do we have a red checklist? If we do, we'll stop there. Yep, okay. And we have actually a lot in the red and camel, so we can definitely come back in. I like this red box. Well, we already have it. Okay, so we'll come back. We'll come back if we need more. Now, when I first saw this sticker book, I did not like it at all. I didn't actually buy it. It came with a set of things that I did buy for free. So, I guess just like an extra part of a lot. So, I would not have purchased this on my own, but now that I'm using them, this is my second time using them, I do kind of like them. For one, they're big stickers, which is nice. When you have a big happy planner, it takes up more space, so you don't have to use like a bunch of small stickers. Not that you have to do that anyway. Okay, let's put like a little red there. Okay, so up in my weather area, I think we're gonna do this New Adventure Awaits. Maybe way up here in the corner. And then a box here on top of that. Let's see what we're doing. So because this is the column I write and this is a timeline, sometimes this gets boxy because I don't always cross over, but I should cross over more than I do. So I'm gonna put checklist down here. And I like how it takes up the whole box because it's a big sticker set. When you're using the small ones, let's get these big ones on. When you're using the small classic size stickers in the big sticker book, the checklist, everything just like slightly sized off. Okay. We'll do something similar only because I'll try it, but I don't think this would look good like that. I think it actually has to be more like this. And I'm going to white out this really bright red line. thinking maybe this yellow line. I don't know. Every day is a new beginning. So right here where I'm putting this is kind of my top 3 section. And I want it to actually touch close to the box. Okay. We have this grow your own way and make today an adventure. I like to do these like this. So I think we're gonna put them way up here. So this is my wellness section, and it's fine to create like little spots. I like little spots to write in for that. Fierce Mind. We're gonna stick down here. All right. Let's get our checklist on. We're just gonna have it cross that line. I don't mind that. And for this week, let me see if this covers it. I don't think it will. Oh, it will. That's great. Okay. So we just have like a little one of those to cover that. And I think I want to do, you know, box cluster stuff. Put one off of it. Okay. So for this one, I think I'm gonna put it like kind of over here. Or maybe higher, because we're kind of plain. We'll do it like here. And so for 1 and 2, well, for 2 and 3 p.m. and even 4 p.m. I can write in that box. But I do want another red coming off of there, or it's too plain. Let's do it like that. Okay. Now, what if we do, this one's kind of reddish, so we'll do this off of this one. And then I can write in my favorite, what? Probably dinner is gonna be that area. And then we could put a today heading here. Just gonna stick that there. That's okay. And that's crooked. Also okay. We'll put this one off of here. And when I put a box like this, I try not to put it too far in to the existing box because I want room to write in the existing box. So I'll just write around it, but I still like how it looks layered like that. So I like to do it, is my point. I like that it's there. As long as it's not taking up too much of the box. Box layers are just fun. Okay, I think we can do this one back over here. Needs to be off more, so maybe we put it over here instead. Those are too close together. That's too close to, like, what do we do now? Hip hip. And I'm just covering up hooray, even though that was super cute. It's like the primary colors again, and I don't really have those on the page anymore, except maybe this picture perfect a little. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go in and add these circles. And these are fun to like write little thoughts in. Oh, I have these red ones too, so let's use some of these. I'm gonna put them together. So I have really been trying not to think so much about my spreads because it's pretty time consuming if you do. This is perfect for a temperature box. This is my weather section. approximate temperature. Two more. So I have 3 on each page, 1 more on each page. We'll just cover up hip hip here. Why not? And then last one. Where are you gonna go? It's too close. Maybe up here by New Beginnings. Okay. Every day is a new beginning. All right. Okay, I think we're gonna pull in some washi and be done. And we may do 2 sizes of washi. So first one. Okay, for my thick washi, I kind of want to try this stripe. I just hope it doesn't ruin it. I don't know. And then for my thin washi, why don't we do the thin stripes? But they're going vertical and horizontal. Ugh, we're gonna see. We'll see how it looks. I think it could be fun. It's, you know, unique. It's a little thick. I don't hate it. That's not necessarily a compliment, but yeah, okay, it's okay. I'm fine with it. Let's see how this one does. I kind of like how you can see the gold through there. So it does kind of tone it down a little anyway. We might have some trouble. We'll have to lift these up, I think. Here. A little to get the washi on, and then we'll put those on top. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, it's definitely not horrible. Now, if you if you do think it's horrible, that's okay. Yeah, I like it well enough. So let's get that one back, and now we'll do the stripes kind of throughout. I think that could be fun. I think we'll do 2 only of these stripes, the smaller one. So where do I want them? Like right here. And I could cover up the yellow, but I'm leaving it in. Embrace the gold. And then for this one, we'll come across here. And we'll go through here. And then like what I've been doing is cutting around here and grabbing this piece off. Now it could be still used. Let's see. Do I like it anywhere? And let's come over and do the same thing over here. Where do we want our first one? I think we just bring it through here. And then this one through here. Okay, so the little maintenance is I'm going to put this on top. So I think it'll just look a little better. Like layered. I like that look. Okay. This is going to have to be cut, but let's get it straightened up first. Oops. I don't think that's straight. And I like that it's giving me more boxes for my wellness section. And we'll cut this off. that is fun enough. Yep, I like it well enough. Both of these spreads where I've used this sticker book that I don't love, I've actually ended up liking well enough. But I like all of my spreads well enough. I know the yellow throws it off a little. It kind of coordinates with the camel, but the truth is I like it. I like that pop of color. So let's get the date on. Okay, Tuesday, May 27th. And that was using Mojo Jojo plans, dated in the black and white. So here it is. I think it came together pretty well. So let's get it back into the planner. So we're here on Wednesday. We are working ahead to decorate for next week. And that way, as soon as the weekend's over, I can just start planning on Sunday for the new week. Now check back because we still have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And Saturday, which is here, is the last day of the entire month of May. So that is exciting. Check back for all of that. Thanks so much for joining me today on Tamara with a Plan. I'll see you next time. Bye guys. Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today on Tamara with a Plan. In this video, we are going to be decorating for Wednesday, May 28th. And we're working ahead 1 week. It's Wednesday right now. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm using a Happy Planner vertical layout. It's actually a memory keeping layout from 2017, which is super colorful, and I'm using it to turn into a 2-page daily. So for instance, this is both all Tuesday. I do a timeline over here, and then I do my other planning for different sections like wellness work, cleaning throughout the spread. And that way I only have to open one spread and I can see everything that I need to do in one day. So we're pulling out for Wednesday, May 28th. And we're going to use Color Story in this, on this 2-page daily, which ends up being a full spread. Because we're only using this for Wednesday, I'm going to white out all of the days at the top here. So I'm a cross between a decorative and practical planner in that, you know, I don't try to do the fancy writing, but I do like decoration on the page. I also try not to overthink my decorations, but you know how that goes sometimes. Okay, so now it has a blank slate on top, but we do have to get the timeline on there. And to do that, I'm doing 1/2 inch per line. And I just mark it. These do not have to be perfect for me. They always look okay. I've never like had one really bother me when I'm writing in it. So I just kind of do it quickly, but I still try to make it as straight as possible while doing it quickly. Now turning a weekly spread, a weekly vertical, and this is big size from Happy Planner, into a 2-page daily is maintenance. But as I said in my other videos, if I had to separate these planners and not do a 2-page daily, it would be 6 different planners that I'd be flipping around to. And each of those planners would need some maintenance. I would have to do some washi and color stickers on them. Not color stickers, put color stickers on them. And then also flipping around to plan in them. So I do think it's worth the time to just make a 2-page daily. I don't see it as a waste of time, or even maybe more time than just doing separate planners. But what I do end up doing in a week is 8 full spreads, because I have a weekly overview spread. So every week on the channel, you're gonna see a spread every day for my daily planner. They're pretty much, for instance, this month would be a vertical spread. And then I will be switching for June and then coming back eventually to vertical again. But I do still have a project planner in the back of my planner, which is a big vertical. So I'll be doing a big vertical all year, but switching around with my daily ones, my 2-page dailies. that to be said, it's basically like a spread that you would do in a vertical planner, or depending on the planner I decide on for June, it'll be like doing a spread in that as well, with slight differences because I do have a timeline. And sometimes I kind of forget the timeline. Not forget it, but like leave it more plain so I have plenty of room to write. So I'll show you some of the things that I've done. Like in this case, I just went for it and put boxes on my timeline because I know I can write across and use these boxes. But sometimes I just put like a little decoration on the edge. So it all depends. Okay, but that is all the maintenance. So, well, I say that. Before I say that, let's get the time in there. I leave the first 3 blank for my top 3, but I could start planning at 6 a.m. Right now I'm doing 9 a.m. instead of doing the top 3. When I have a decoration like this, I just write the number because I usually do have enough room to write like what I need to do for 4 in that section. And I like the little quote, it gives some decoration to what can actually be a pretty plain area. Okay, so now we are done with the maintenance. So let's look at the stickers that I'm looking at using today. I wanted to come back in with these Celebrate stickers. So this is the Color Story sticker book from Happy Planner, and I'm going to show you kind of how it works. You have like these sets that coordinate together. So like all of those will coordinate. I don't think we need, well, we might take the balloons too. We'll just pull it out. This is a set I used last time, so this will be for another time. But this is an example. You have like stickers that kind of coordinate with the animal print and the specs. And that's how you use them. Each little set has about 2 spreads, maybe 3 spreads if you really stretch it, of stickers, worth of stickers in here. Okay, so these are gonna be our main stickers that we're working around, and you can see the fun confetti, and this says confetti in the air, like you just don't care. And I did choose this set instead of some of the others because of the bright colors that will work well with what's already on the page. And that is something to consider when you have a colorful planner. But I still think it's fun to have a colorful planner. I prefer it actually. I am gonna put this over here because I usually like the shaded color box over here, but the yellow I'm iffy on. Whoops, let's go slowly. So this is a Big Happy Planner, and I love having the Big Happy Planner sticker books because everything fits better. It doesn't look like a tiny box in there. It looks like it's supposed to be there. All right, before I get carried away, let's get our decorative boxes on. So I definitely want to use this one, and I think, which one do you think goes? That one with, no. We'll do this one with a really bright one, and then we'll do this one with this kind of lighter one. I think that could work. And let's see. Then we'll put this colorful one over here. I'm going to turn these boxes horizontal. Maybe we start with this like that. So let me see. You can go over a tiny bit into the timeline. Let me set this down for a second. That way the middle of the pages looks super empty. And then I have been using these boxes horizontally, even though they're not styled for that. And it's been working fine. Okay, so that's the start there. We'll grab this box and this. And let's see. Try to figure this out here. Okay, so we went over that quote. I don't want to do that, so let's go up a little. It says this is what it's all about. This one is crooked, and I thought I lined it up pretty well. Let's get it off and fix that. That's a bummer. Okay, that box is actually pretty hard to see. That's okay. That's okay, we'll give it some accents to make it pop. You know, like something like this. Now this says, finally the weekend. I use these little strips anyway when it's not the weekend. Which, what are we doing? We are doing Wednesday. For the color, and also so they don't just have like a bunch of weekend stickers left on the page that don't get used because I'm saving them to the weekend. So I like them for the color, I put them on, and I don't usually read these once they're on. I'm wondering, do you guys read them once they're on? This is a little party never hurt nobody. It's a double negative. Okay. So does that mean a little party did hurt somebody? What are we thinking? And this one says party, party, party. We do have this one box left, and I don't think it's going to get used, but we'll see. Plan all the things, and we're going to put party, party, party up here. And I like some color up here in my wellness. Okay. There is so much to celebrate, and then we're going to be done with this whole sheet. So I'll put that away. What am I going to say? Let's put this, I don't really know, gals. I guess I'll put it here. Maybe the top? Let's put it at the top. Just hanging on this yellow. And then we'll move this party, party, party down. Somewhere. A little down. If we can without ripping it. Yep, that's all fine. And then this box, should we use it or leave it? If I use it, maybe I could put it in my top 3 up here. This is kind of where I do my top 3 in my weather. I can't even speak right now. So let's lift it up and just try it. I'm gonna go a little above. So we're not really going into my 9 a.m., which is good. I didn't even need to lift it up. But I do want to lower it. So I guess we're going to cover my 9 a.m. which is fine because we can use this as the 9 a.m. this box. Okay, that's a little better. We can add some things to help blend it better. Okay, so we have 2 more of these guys. I don't know, should we pull one across? It could be fun. Do we have a spot? Let me see. Like here? Or below? I think below. Yeah. And then the last one, we really should put over here somewhere. I think we're going to start it over here and okay, where's the one out? Okay, so we're going to wipe this part out and you might hear my husband in the background. He talks quite loud. Yelling, I think. Okay, so let's do that and cut it. And we'll bring these back in on the other side. Somewhere. Let's see. Well, let's cut this before we get, so that I can move the pages freely. All right, and then this can just be where? I think I'm just gonna hang it off of here because it brings in a little more color to this kind of plain box. All right, that's fun. All right, we do have these 3 things and then we'll be done with the sheet as well. So, I don't know, it's not gonna show a lot coming up from there, but I do like it. And these are balloons, I think. I'm thinking they're balloons with tassels hanging down and confetti in them, so super cute. But this one like this. Okay. And the last one. And sometimes actually a lot of these vinyl stickers are on a nice white backing, like better quality than some. We'll stick it in from here, and we probably should have erased those lines. So let's, actually it's probably already transferred. Yeah, the lines are already transferred onto the sticker. Okay, so what I was saying is this is a nice backing, so I'm gonna grab the actual sticker off. Every now and then if you grab these out, you can have a nice extra page to put possible stickers on if you can't pull them out like this. Some of these balloons might be too much, or they could be fun on the edge. We'll see that in a moment. But let's get the rest of this stuff on. Okay, so this, there is so much to celebrate. I think we're gonna put it here. This yay is just like, you can't see it that well. Okay, and this says hooray. And then that's a finished sheet, but this is not as strong of a paper as the one I just saved. I think I can do hooray. Down here. So I don't want it directly under there, right? That's why I'm not gonna put it like that. I think I'll just stick it here. Maybe over more. Down here. It does need something there. Like just focus. Okay. Actually, we don't have a lot of purple over here, so I think I'm gonna pull the purple. And this says best day ever. says just focus. A little up. Okay, so let's get some more in my wellness section here. Okay, so we're grabbing all of these. These are all gone except today's plan. All right, so maybe we put a box here. This is pretty narrow. Like I'd have to write pretty small to write in that. Well, that's okay. Today's plan, I like over here. This just says plan. I'm gonna put it down here by this balloon. So I have this banner and then 2 more stickers. This doesn't match the color at all. So I don't even know why this is here. What do you guys think? Let me see if it matches anything in here. And I'll kind of put it, I mean, maybe this dark blue. Yeah, I think that would be it. There's like another one here. They're just kind of off the colors, but that's okay. So that was gone. We have a to-do, and then we have weekend again, which again, I'm gonna use because it doesn't matter what it says. If I saved it for the weekend, I think it could be fun just to have another banner here. Anyway, if I saved it for the weekend, I would probably not use it. I would have like pages and pages of just stickers that have one sticker that says weekend. All right, so this to do, where can we put you? Maybe up here. Okay, so this is what I was saying. This side over there, so this page is done. It gets really plain looking, but we do have these little confetti bits, like not just the balloons. See if we can pop those over there. So I think the balloons need to wait. I like them for birthdays. So we'll just drop some confetti pieces down here, down the side. And hopefully that gives it enough color. I like it. What are you guys thinking? Yeah. It's pretty subtle. I think that's the only thing. It may not be super noticeable, but it is cute. That confetti is cute. And we might even be able to reach down to this balloon, I think. Yeah, pretty much, right? All right, that's fun. So the only thing left are 3 sets of balloons, and those will go back into the I don't know what they're ever gonna go for, actually. But I definitely don't think they're gonna work on the page, so we'll save them. Let's put them back in here in the sticker book. And maybe eventually when I organize my stickers, I'll have like a birthday style section and they can go in there. Okay, so this is a sheet I wanted to keep because it's a nicer quality. And we do need washi on the top and bottom. So let's see, what could be fun? I do love my pink polka dots. Should I go back with that? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it, even though I know it's gonna be gone. I get sad when like some of the cute washi is gone. Then I'm eventually gonna have to end up using washi I don't like as much, but it's okay. And then someday I will get more washi, but I really want to use what I have first, just because of the whole decluttering that I'm trying to do this year. Hold on, let's go a little closer to the balloon there. We might cut around it. Actually, we'll cut around it. I'm gonna go all the way on top of the balloon, but we will cut out that piece of washi because that's a vinyl sticker, so it should work pretty well. Now, are we straight? We're not. So let's pull back up before we cut. Get it a little more straightened. There we go. Yeah, this piece, it always makes the spread really cute. the pink polka dot washi. It's a glossy washi, so I really didn't like it at first. Like, it drove me crazy. But it's fun. Just the gloss did, not the color. This is like the perfect shade of pink to have on a spread like this. And probably a lot of spreads, actually. Okay. All right, so it looks like we have a little bit of a punch to do right here, and then, oh, let's not forget to cut this out. The balloon. Actually, we might have to punch over here too. Looks like. Yeah, that's cute. All right, so 2 punches. Cute. All right, that's what I need to do backwards. Whoops, now that did that did the wrong thing. Okay, well, did it? I think that works. All right. So, get that put away. And it's actually really cute and colorful. So that's pretty much what I want, cute and colorful. And there's still plenty of room to write. So I know there's some big stickers. They seem like they're taking up some space, but I still think it's gonna be plenty of room for me to write. All right, so let's get the date on there. Okay, maybe not the best color for the date, but that's okay. So here we have Wednesday, May 28th. So there it is, a cute and colorful spread for a 2-page daily, May 28th. Almost done with May, and it is ready to go back into the planner. So we're planning a week ahead, all for next week. It's only Wednesday today of the previous week, which I really do like to get ahead. Okay, so stay tuned for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thanks so much for joining me today on Tamper with a Plan. I will see you next time. Bye, guys. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me today on Tamper with a Plan. In this video, we're planning for Thursday, May 29th, and we're planning about a week ahead. We're planning in this big Happy Planner Vertical, which is a memory keeping planner that has the extra lines and grids and dot grids. And we make every day into a 2-page daily. So this spread here is all for Wednesday, Tuesday, etc. So I'm gonna pull out both pages so that we can decorate for Thursday. So I've tried a few planners this year, and I ended up deciding, I'm gonna white out these days because I don't need them. I ended up deciding that I needed a 2-page daily. It's what worked the best for me because I can open up a spread and just see everything that I need to do for the day. I'm sure you gals know that most planner gals on YouTube have several planners, and that can work for a lot of people, but for me it was not really working. I just didn't want to flip all around to see everything that I had to do for the day. So a 2-page daily is what is working the best for me. I'm still kind of working on that balance of how to decorate around a timeline on a 2-page daily. So for every line, I'm doing 1/2 of an inch, and I draw in the lines myself on this vertical planner. This is a 2017 Happy Planner Memory Keeping Planner. So it's an older one. It is undated. So I didn't have to white out the dates on here, so that saves me a little bit of time. I like that. If you haven't seen my channel before, I have quite a few older planners from Happy Planner, and they're all colorful. And the colorful ones are actually my favorite Happy Planner planners. I know most people like the very neutral ones. But I don't mind working around some color, because if I ever don't decorate, for one, I already have color on the page, but I also just like the color in the background, even if it doesn't completely go with what I'm working on. Like this bright yellow, it's pretty bright, but I do like it, it's cheerful. So because I'm doing a 2-page daily in the Happy Planner, I use about 9 months worth of pages for 1 month. So that is a good way to use up, and like I said, I have several older Happy Planners, different layouts, so I will be switching up layouts for this part of my planner. But I do have a declutter planner that's a project planner, and that is going to stay a big vertical for all year. But for this part, the 2-page daily, I'm probably going to just rotate through until I get all of my planners used up. I will come back to this particular planner as well, because I have a couple months left. Maybe mix it with another vertical Happy Planner and make a month out of it. Another thing I do like about the vertical for my 2-page daily is it does give me 3 sections, like a morning section, an afternoon section, and an evening section for my timeline. And I do like that a lot. I think I'm going to miss that when I go to a different layout. Alright, this is a Happy Planner fine liner that I just used to write in my times. So I write my times from 9 a.m. but I do have slots to go up to 6 a.m. if I ever needed to. Okay, so that is the maintenance that has to be done when you're customizing a planner from a weekly to a 2-page. And we're ready to start decorating. Okay, so now to get to the stickers. These are everyday stickers from Happy Planner, but they are wrong design. And they're for a classic size planner. What I wanted to do is grab these black boxes out. So they kind of broke up into colors in this book. So the color I see most of left in these books are the purples. So I think I'm going to mix, I mean, other than the foils. So I think I'm going to mix these 2 black pages with purple. And then the yellow's already on there, and I think it'll be fine with those. So I'm going to go through, I know this is kind of like a blue purple or periwinkle. I'm going to go through and grab stickers that will work, that have the purple outline or purple shading. So we'll set that aside. And let's get some of these on here. So we do have 3 decorative boxes, and then these don't have decorative boxes, they're just the write-in boxes. So we'll be able to match these up. This is Find the Joy in Little Things. And I want to put her with a horizontal box, so we're just going to turn this box that's meant to be vertical with horizontal. And let's just start up here in my wellness section. girls' night in. I probably should have done that in my wellness section. Let's see if we can remove it. Yeah. We'll do that instead. And then we'll put this really cute one, Enjoy the Little Things, maybe up here in the weather. So what do we want that with? I think I'm gonna put her with this. I mean, these look like business gals actually. So let's not do that yet. We'll do a scallop box up here in the weather, and then we'll get her on there too. Maybe we lay her down first. And I'm gonna put her slightly in the timeline because you know how this timeline gets pretty empty. The fun thing about Wrong is if I pay attention, I can get like some fun theme. Like these look like business gals. I can put that in my business area, my work area. Whoops. Oh, got it straight, and then I just last second moved my hands. There we go. I do like some layered boxes. These are also friends hanging out. So with this everyday sticker set, I do end up having, it does end up looking a little busy because there's so many small boxes. I think it's made obviously for a mini as well, not just classic. It's definitely not made for a big though. This sticker is still crooked. Why? Why are you doing this? And let's get a gal with a picture in there too. Yeah, that's cute. Okay. So I'm just gonna add stickers and move them around. I really don't love this yellow shaded box. But we'll put this here. No, we won't. It says, "Donut worry, be happy," which is fun. Let's get it in here in my timeline. This gets super plain over here. And then actually maybe a box with a girl. So there's beauty everywhere, but I think we can maybe put it with her like that. And maybe put a flag or something, or maybe like this. Let's see. So we're making it horizontal. So we'll have to cover up that phrase, even though it's cute. And I guess we're gonna use whiteout. And then we have something else we can cover it with later. We will do that because the whiteout never looks pretty on stickers. But it does get you what you need. Okay, what else do we have? One more purple box, jot it down. Everything is just slightly crooked. Well, what am I doing today? Still, okay. Let's get this, jot it down on here. Every box, everything is crooked. It's not crooked, but this under box is crooked. So let's try to straighten it out. Maybe she is crooked. We'll eventually have to stop removing and repositioning everything. That's okay. All right, so those are the only ones that I grabbed. Oh, I have this page. So we have some purple left. So let's grab some of that in there to add color. Where else? With this gal taking a bath up in Wellness. And I like boxes up here because I like to track different things, so it's kind of fun to have a bunch of different little spots to write in. We definitely need some things over here. So what do we have? Vertical box. I think we could put these two gals kind of in, or this gal and the Today down in here, over in here. And it just gives us kind of a cute column. I've actually never done this before, so we'll see how I like it. And then we'll do these girls down here. For one, I can tell it's kind of crooked, but I don't hate it. Okay, so we'll get the rest of the purple on there. Let me get these out of the way. And actually we'll add some of these little black meeting stickers everywhere, you know, appointments, meetings. And straight, and then like at the last second, tweak it. We can do some smaller boxes up here for the weather. I do want to bring in a purple box. Meeting. Don't love that. All right, a couple more. These little boxes are so small. Okay, so that sheet's done. This appointment girl here. Really bare up here and down here. Let's do these two up here. Okay, this page is done. And we need to get this a little straighter. Okay, the only thing left are these little, oh actually there's some black boxes left. Okay, let's grab some washi. Again, there's a lot of little small stickers, and that's what happens with some of the older Happy Planner sticker books, because they have mini and classic all in one, but not really big. So, which is what we are using. Okay, I'm gonna try this floral. It kind of reminds me of these, not really though. Let's just look at it and see how it goes. So I do top and bottom florals because of where I've whited out the dates. Has a little yellow in there as well. I don't know. I don't hate it, but I definitely don't love it. I like the florals. I just don't know if I like it with this spread. Okay, I'm adding this thin washi because I think it can't hurt, right? Like, it's already pretty crazy, and maybe it could bring it together. Let's see. Okay, I'm just finishing up this page. I put a couple of things. It's not great, but I don't want to just leave a couple stickers, so we're gonna just finish up. And get these last couple things on here somewhere. So we're gonna put this back. So let's go ahead and grab the date. Okay, so no May left. We'll just do Thursday the 29th, and we know we're in May. Well, no May left in purple anyway. All right, so that is it. I like the colors. I like that it's colorful. So we can get it back in the planner. I choose the sticker books ahead of time, so I don't have to think about it when I'm actually planning. But that is it for Thursday, May 29th. We still have Friday and Saturday, so check back for those. We're also going to be doing our June setup soon, where we're going to choose which planners we're going to use for June. We'll see what we're going to do for my main 2-page daily. Thanks so much for joining me today on Tamper with the Plan. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today on Tamper with the Plan. In this video, we are going to be decorating for Friday, May 30th. We're going a week ahead in decoration, and we already have the rest of the week decorated. So it is time for Friday, and then we will do Saturday next. If you haven't seen my channel, I use a It's a Big Happy Planner vertical. This is a memory keeping planner that's undated from 2017, and that's why you see some of these boxes with like dot grid or lines. And I turned this weekly spread into a 2-page daily. So this is all for Thursday. Thursday I got a little carried away with these stickers. This is all for Wednesday, Tuesday, etc. So now we are going to be decorating for Friday, May 30th, almost done with the month of May. So it's definitely time to be getting that June setup video out as well. I'll be working on that. So now that I have the pages out, and you can see that the memory keeping planners had a little more color than some of the regular planners, and I really like the color. I think it adds a fun splash, especially if I can't decorate, but even when I do decorate, it gives color some places that I may not have decorated, like this little quote over here. But because it's going to be a 2-page daily, I do white out the days on top. So if you haven't seen my channel before, I have tried several planners this year, and then I did have some in the fall as well. And I was just like a multiple planner gal with different subjects on each planner. And then I was just flipping around to each subject as I needed to plan. And I really didn't like that format. So the 2-page daily allows me to have like all of my topics that I would have planned for, like wellness, work, household, as soon as I open the planner on this spread. So they're all right here on this spread instead of flipping around. And even though to turn this into a 2-page daily does take some time, it also takes time to flip around to different planners and also to put a little color and decoration on different planners. So that was also time consuming. So I do think of that when I'm putting some time and effort into making this a 2-page daily. Now I have several outdated or undated planners that are from 2016, 2017, 2020 mostly, that I will be utilizing and making into a 2-page daily because I don't mind the effort. I was putting effort in anyway. And also because I'm picky and I want a planner that I want. The one that I want is a 2-page daily. Let's go down a little. So every day I do decorate a full spread right now of the vertical, the big vertical planner of a happy planner. And then in June, I'm gonna switch it up and choose a different planner format, which I'm kind of excited about. I think it'll be a little less maintenance, but we'll see, because you never know. But I am liking this vertical layout for my 2-page daily. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. So I'm drawing lines over here to have a timeline, like an hourly layout over here. And I like to time block in that. Meaning, like, what am I going to do in the 10 a.m. hour? What am I going to do in the 11 a.m. hour? I have that written down here, and that helps me keep on track. So I'm just going to use the pen that I've been using until it dies, which I'm sure it will. I'm going to start here at 9 a.m. And if I wanted to, I could start up here at 6 a.m., but I use this right now as my top 3 for the day. Okay, so how this works out with the vertical is that I have my morning block up here, it ends at 11 a.m., my afternoon block here, 12 to 5 p.m., and then my evening 6 to 11 p.m. down here. So I do like that about the vertical layout. I've already tried some mock-ups of my June planner and it's not like that. It's fine because it has other perks, but I think I probably will miss this. I also like the colorful line to split them instead of just like a normal neutral line to really separate the times. All right, so that is basically the maintenance for the planner, is whitening out the top, drawing the lines, and adding the timeline. So now we're gonna look at the stickers that we're gonna be using. This is Rainbow, and this is a big sticker book from Happy Planner. And I've used this before. I have the teal and yellow boxes that I'm gonna use today. And I thought it'd be fun to pair that with the Rainbow Girls from Wrong Wrong, looking in the orange. Yeah, so I'm just gonna have that open to that. And we can get started. So the Rainbow from Happy Planner, they do have boxes, but I think I probably used most of them. But I think we can work around it and just kind of create spaces that mimic boxes with some of these. So I'm just gonna get started, and I'm gonna take this polka dot and let's grab a gal for it. So we'll do these two gals because they're the same height and they're both paper stickers, which means they can go on these decorative boxes without having to white anything out. Oh, that's a little crooked. Okay, let's see. And then we have this vertical box over here. It says dreams, be brave, faithful, just a bunch of little sayings. We're gonna put that over here. Maybe we'll put her down. And then we'll grab this gal to go over there. Okay, I like that so far. Now, this page is gone. Let's just do some hello today over here to get some yellow over here. Although we already have it with the page, which is nice. And I think we'll do some checklists. Teal checklist over here. Let me see about a take action over here. Take action moments. We'll just white out moments right there. And then it's gonna say take action. So I'm just going to put some headings on, and that helps also break apart the box. So if I put it here, we have like 2 sections to write. I'm going to do one more of these vertical boxes up in here, and it says get it done. So even though it covers a little bit of my timeline, it's just my morning block and I can still write in each hour. And then I have my top 3 for the get it done, which I think is fun. Now, let's see. We'll go back in here with some teal that says don't forget. I like this little quote, but I ripped it. It says be productive, and I'm going to put it down here. And I think we'll just fill it in with black to match it up so it doesn't look like it ripped as much. Okay. Okay, let's use a today over here. I don't always pay attention to the headings, so it doesn't really matter what it says. I'm really using it for the color. Life is good up here. Okay, let's get some more orange accents. This 70s outfit. I guess it is kind of that 70s orange. Put a handbag down here. Oops. Okay, we can do this. Trying to straighten it, but it ripped a little. And we can get it back on there. Do a remember down here. So I don't really want to bring in the flowers. I want to save those for a different spread. Okay, so we'll get this orange candle. We'll do a to-do here. Okay, so 3 things of orange on this page, 2 things of orange on this page, so we need a little more orange over here. Just remember, I'm going to move over to here. We'll do a to buy here. And that's 4 headings over here, 2 over here. Let's get a couple more headings over here. Remember and to do. This is my cleaning section. Do a remember here. And we'll actually put this back. So we'll do a today here with some gold. goals here. Noted. Now up here. Okay, I think we get our last orange something from over here. We'll just do these two actually. Let's see. Let's get the orange there, and then maybe these over here to be like accessories on each side. Put a later over here, just for some color, and maybe goals down here. Okay. Now the boxes we actually do have are these two gold boxes, and I think we could do one on each side, and then we do have these errands boxes. So we might do that too. All right, I like having boxes up here in my wellness, so we'll do one up there. And I do like having a temperature box here in my weather. So we'll put this one here. All right, and let's get these errand boxes off and put them somewhere. I don't love boxes that don't have an edge because this is really just going to blend into the page and look like a heading, unless you do something like this, right? So we will do that. I think we will remember again. We will move it where it can go across here. Okay, and then this box. Well, I think we're just gonna put it over here. Even though it's yellow on yellow, that's okay. And then we'll post this right here. Alright, well it's definitely looking fun and colorful. Let's get some washi on though and see how that can help. And then we'll go back in with whatever else is needed. So I think for the washi I'm just going to do this really colorful diagonal stripe, at least on the top and the bottom. And then we'll see if we do anything else in the middle. But this is going to bring all of those colors kind of together. Okay, that is fun. And then, I don't know, maybe these stripes, those two. Yeah, this will work. Yeah, I think that's fun enough. I ripped that. Darn it. I guess that one's gonna stay under because it ripped a little. That's okay. And then we'll do this up here. And I like it there, but I do want to cut it off of the earrings. So we'll take a little cut here, but I'm fine with it going through this yellow box because that was kind of plain. And then I do think we'll put this blue circle on top. All right. Yep, I like it. I think it's good enough. Super colorful. So the washi really helps sometimes with the corners that can look really plain. The thick washi, but also covers all the whiteout that I had to cover the dates with, so I like that. And then the inner washi just helps make some boxes, which I like to have sections for things. All right, I like it. I think that is cute enough. And again, that's kind of the thing. I always want to do just cute enough. It does not have to be perfect. These are not picture perfect, Instagram perfect spreads, but they are cute enough, and I'm doing 8 spreads a week, by the way, just to get through my days. Now, we're gonna put the date up here from Mojo Jojo Plans Pastel Dated, and let's see what we have left. Okay. Friday, May 30. And this Friday's upside down because I can't even see. I can't read it at all, so. But I did notice it's upside down. What do you guys think? Can you read that? All right, well, it is definitely good enough and ready to go back into the planner. I think it's super fun and colorful for the second to last day in May. So let's get it back into the planner. And then we have Friday, May 30th. So that is it for this video. Check back for Saturday for the declutter planner and for the June planner setup, where I'm choosing which planners to use in June. Thanks so much for joining me today on Tamper with the Plan. I'll see you next time. Bye guys. Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today on Tamper with the Plan. In this video, we are going to be decorating for May 31st, the last day of May, in the planner. So, we're decorating a little over a week ahead so that we have it all ready for next week. And we just finished Friday, and now we're going to pull out for Saturday. Now, if you haven't seen my videos, every spread that's a weekly spread actually ends up as a 2-page daily. Both of these pages are for Friday. So it keeps me busy decorating. But the reason I chose a 2-page daily is because I was originally using multiple planners, and now I can fit all of everything that I want to do in the whole day for all the planners on 2 pages. So instead of flipping around to different planners, it's all right here in front of me, and I like that so much better. So we're going to white out the tops of these days because I don't need them. This is for the last day of May, so I'm going to need to be grabbing my June setup, and I am going to switch layouts for my 2-page daily, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep my big Happy Planner vertical layout for my declutter planner. So this is a big Happy Planner vertical layout, but it's the memory keeping one. That's why you see some extra dot grids, grid lines, and it's also very colorful, which I love. So for the stickers today, we're going to use the big farmhouse stickers. And I'm thinking of going in and just grabbing these florals and having a floral spread with Wrong pastel gold boxes. And then we have Mojo Jojo plans dated. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's get our timeline on. So I make a timeline, which I used to use an hourly planner as one of my planners. So now I just put a timeline over here and I time block for the hour. Like, what am I doing for the 9 a.m. hour? What am I doing for the 10 a.m. hour? But because this is a vertical layout, I do have to draw the lines myself. But I do like that I can control the width of the line. So this is like extremely wide rule that I use for these. It's a 1/2 inch. And I like having this space to write. So I'm just drawing the lines in. And I have mentioned before, I don't mind the maintenance of this because I'm pretty picky and I wanted the 2-page daily. But also keeping up several planners takes a lot of time. So now I'm doing one main planner, 2 pages of it, and consolidating. Okay, so that's it for the timeline, and now I just write in the times. I leave my top 3 lines for my top 3 for the day, and I start at 9 a.m. If I ever wanted to, though, on a vertical layout, I could start at 6 a.m. So for right now, I'm gonna leave this, the Sweet Life quote, but if I wanted to white that out, I could do an 11 p.m. Normally I'd just say something like bedtime and go to bed, even though I don't. Okay, so this is the basic layout, and now we have, I love that there's already color on the page. I think that's fun to work with. So let's grab our stickers, and you're gonna see they're gonna coordinate really well with the colors already on the page. So we're just gonna do these, just 2 pages of these. I don't know if we're gonna need them, but I'm gonna take them out. This is, again, Farmhouse Big Happy Planner sticker book. And I don't love the look of these flowers, but I think they're gonna be able to create a cute spread. The pastel boxes are just because I like to have some boxes on the page or some separation. You can always separate with washi. So I'm gonna grab out some of my extra pages here and grab the gold boxes from here. They're kind of throughout the book instead of just in one place. So I'm gonna go through and grab what I can. That totally rips. We'll see. We'll see if that'll stick well enough. You know, when you put stickers back, sometimes you get them just on the edge, just enough to not keep them sticky. And this is the color I'm really looking for, this brighter gold, to brighten it up. And we do have a couple, I don't know, we'll grab those. And I like to use different sizes of boxes. I prefer, if I can, different shades with the different sizes. I don't know, we'll do these circles. These are growing on me. I always wondered kind of what they were for, but they are growing on me. The shaded boxes. So that's that. And I think we're about done because I don't want to use these really light yellow boxes. Like, ugh, those, I'm not a pastel gal. Only if I had to. You see, these are a little more gold. I'm gonna grab one of these that doesn't have the lines because then I'll have two plain and two lined. I'll grab one more checklist. And probably not that one, but we'll see. We can always come back. This smaller guy. Grab a couple of these small guys. And I think that's actually gonna be plenty with what we have. So we'll put back there if we need to. There's a couple left in there that might work, but I think these are gonna be good enough. Okay, so this says this week, but obviously this is just for one day. Usually this is a weekly spread, and I'm just gonna white this out. Okay, so I don't know if I mentioned this. The reason I am making 2-page spreads out of Happy Planner, big, vertical, or any, is because I do have a lot of Happy Planner planners left. And I think they're really cute, the ones that I have. I chose them because they're colorful, because I like them, and then I just never got around to using them. So now I want to go back and actually use them. And that is why I'm making them into 2-page dailies. I don't want them to go to waste. I did donate most, if not all, of my classic Happy Planners because I just realized classic's not going to work. I've tried it several times and it's just not the right size for me. I just want to fill that in a little. So yeah, I think that looks really cute. Okay. So now we can use some of these with boxes that I think are going to be fun. I think this big box, I like to have a big box in work, and this is my work area. So let's try to get it straight. Yeah. And then we'll put a floral on there. I do want to white out the corner. It just gives me a little more freedom of placement for the floral. I was going to say, I've said this times before, you might hear my husband in the background. His voice carries like crazy. So you may hear that. You may hear something in the background. So this is favorite picture. I think I'm just going to white out picture and put a floral here. Let's do it like this. Alright, that side is looking really good. Let's start the other side. So I do love to have, we'll decide about this quote here. This is the life. I might actually just put a box there. Let's just do that now because I want to be able to write there instead. If I hadn't covered up, you know, up here. But also this is one of those, and this is one of my favorite days, is where it has like this currently here. Currently loving, thankful for, thinking of, going, wearing, excited for. I've been leaving those on because I like it every now and then daily check-in. I think it happens like every 3 days that comes up. Okay, so I had to change the battery. I thought I was recording. I've just been adding boxes and florals. Ugh, so annoying, but that I didn't record it. Just working out where to position things. We have more florals, like a whole nother page, but that other entire page is gone. And this is just a replica page. So we'll see when everything's done, because this is really plain over here. But we're adding washi right now to the top and bottom. And I chose this striped one because I didn't think it would take away too much from the decoration. And it's also thin enough to be used in the middle as well. So you don't have to use 2 different types of washies like I did yesterday. Let's see if I can show you like the thick one and then the thinner one, which is always fine to do anyway, but I like it when I don't have to do it. So let's get the washi on. Oops. So I add washi for color detail, but also to separate some of the boxes. So I like to have separation up there. And that one's a little close to that. So let's bring that here. I usually do 3 strips of washi, but lately I've been doing 4. So the middle can look a little more decorated. And I don't mind having a line through the boxes because I can either use it as 2 separate sections, or I can just use it as is and write through. And just continue what I was writing on the other side. Okay, so that is cute, but we definitely need something over here. So let's see. I think we're gonna just do this other big one. It's not my favorite because now if I wanted to do another spread, you know, it would be missing this giant floral, but that's okay. Cut the paper a little. I'm gonna grab this and I think we're gonna move this up the row here. That's definitely better. And maybe we grab a couple more. So we're definitely plain in here. We could probably put a floral there. Maybe. Just a small one. And let's move the washi. So we put it here. Yeah, we pretty much need the washi here and here to be on. Let's check it. Oh, did it cut well? Here. There we go. I see this ripped one has that spot, so let me try to straighten that out. So we don't see that rip. Let me just line it up a little better. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Where else are we playing? Definitely up here. And maybe we just do another one across. Just the same one. Yeah, I think it is, but that's okay. We'll do it upside down this time. I do like it. It takes up my box here, but I'm gonna leave it. I can still put a temperature in there. Okay, and then I think just maybe one more over here. And I don't want it to be too small, so we'll white out this corner just slightly. Partially off the page. And I guess we'll just bring it up. Okay, that is much better, but we don't have a ton left. I could just keep putting them on, but I do think we could get to the point of a little too much. Yeah, so we'll save those for later. And we'll get this punched before I forget. So we just need the date added and then we will be done. I'm gonna put this back in its sticker book just in the front here. Okay, so Jojo Plans Pastel Data is what I'm using for the date, and last day of the month, Saturday, May 31st, and also since I am a Sunday start, this is my last day of the entire planner for May, the entire planner for May. And I think it turned out pretty cute. I like it. So let's get it back in the planner. Now when you're doing 2-page dailies like I do, I'm doing 8 spreads a week, and you have some misses, which this spread is just really busy, but I love the artwork. It's really beautiful, but these stickers were made for like a mini and I'm using a big. But then you also have some that you think are, you know, cute enough, and then you have some that you think are really cute. Like I really do love Fridays, how that turned out. But we're talking about Saturday, and I also really love Saturdays. So this is ready to go a week ahead to plan in, and we're back here. We're back here on Thursday, and I'm still filling out for the day. And maybe we'll do a video about how I fill out my planner sometime in the future. But right now we're just getting back on track and getting ahead of things. But that is it for this video. Saturday, May 30th, 31st, the last day of May. Check back to the channel for the declutter planner, the last week of my decluttering for May, and then for my June planner setup. Thanks so much for joining me today on Tambour with a Plan. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.